Hi, y'all. Um, so I wanted to tell this story. Okay. Um, it's something that I do not have a very good memory. Okay. I don't remember a lot of stuff that's happened in my life. I'm only 44 and my memory is shot already. But some things I do remember very, very clearly. And that saying that um what is her name? Oh my goodness. I just had it in my head. And but the poet that recently died, she said people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel. Her name is going to come to me in a minute. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's true. Okay, because with this memory, I remember the fear. Okay, now I went to a church in Louisiana called House of the Lord. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Okay. Loved everything about it. Um, so I started going when I was little, like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 years old. And I remember going to church one night. We went to church a lot, like 6 days a week. Like, seriously, we were there all the time. And I remember going in, the pastor was showing a movie. I think he showed like 3 movies that week. It was dark. Church was dark. They turned the lights out, turned the movie on. The movie was called A Thief in the Night. Okay, I don't know if you all have ever seen that. I'm sure you can Google it and it'll be there. But the movie was about what was going to happen to people when Jesus came back and took all the Christians. Now, I had been going to church, but every time the pastor would say at the end of church, they'd have an altar call when they would tell people, okay, if you're a sinner, you need to come up here and get saved so that this doesn't have, so you don't go to hell. Okay. But I was young, I was like 10, 11, you know. So I saw this movie. It terrified me. Okay. Terrified. I was so scared because here I am. I'm 10, I'm 11, or maybe I just turned 12. I don't know. I was young. And I saw this lady, she went to sleep, woke up the next day. Her husband wasn't there. The people she loved weren't there. She was on earth without the Christians. Jesus had already come. The mark of the beast was coming. People were getting their heads chopped off. I mean, you know, the whole thing. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So the pastor had an altar call that night. I didn't go up because I mean, you know, I was to go up, you know, it was just embarrassing or something. I don't know, just not wanting to walk up in front of all those people and stuff, you know. And, you know, I know my mom was there, but some other people, right, telling me to go up, you know, you need to go up, you need to do, you know, you don't know when the Lord is coming back and, you know, and all this stuff. But I didn't go. I couldn't sleep that whole night. That whole entire night, I could not sleep. I was praying that Jesus didn't come back that night because I hadn't gone up in front of the church to confess Christ and, you know, say I'm sorry for my sins and get saved. Okay. I couldn't wait to get to church the next day. So there were 2 churches. We had a big church in Homa and there was a little church in Raceland, a place called Raceland. We went to church in Raceland that day. I remember what I had on. I had on a red, y'all, I don't remember nothing. Okay. But I remember this. I had on a red and white long sleeve shirt. It was like little squares, red and white squares, little bit squares. I had on a long denim skirt and some tennis shoes. Okay. The denim skirt had a split in the front, like from the knee down, right? When he made the altar call, I was so happy to go up there and confess. 12 years old. I am a sinner. I'm sorry. Please come into my life and save me. I was so happy to, I was crying. I was so happy to do that because I was so scared that I was going to be left down here, you know, and have to go through all that stuff that lady went through. Okay. I did not want to be left here. I did not go up there because I love the Lord and all this other stuff and I was appreciated. I was scared. Okay. That's what drove me to that altar. Nothing but 100% fear. Fear. And that's what drove me all those years that I was a Christian. It was fear. I pretended like it was something else, you know. Everything I did was for fear. You know, I did not want to be left here. I didn't want to go to hell. I didn't want to have a bad life. I didn't want to, you know, it's fear. In contrast, okay, the stuff I think about and I do, and for my kids, that's not driven by. It's not. I do that, you know, I just do that stuff, you know. My sons, my daughter, you know, none of that is driven by any, I don't even have to tell them I love them, right? Because it's just there, right? It's not nothing that had to be manufactured. Anybody got to convince me, they got to tell me stories about all this. No, it wasn't that at all, right? In firing God, I told the truth and I said, I never loved you. Never. Who? Love who? You know? So the day before I got saved was the most frightening day of my life. Of my life. Terrified. Just 12 years or 11, however the hell old I was. Absolutely. And that's what I remember. I remember being driven by fear. And the feeling of relief. And I felt like, oh, I got in under the wire. I got in before he came back and I got left down here. You know, that's what it was. Okay. And okay, being driven by fear, what I found, that's not sustainable. You can't keep that up. It's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting, you know, which I learned. And thank God for exhaustion. You know, because exhaustion puts you in a place where all you got left is to tell the truth, right? When you tired, T-I-E, do is tell the truth. That's it, you know? And that's the thing that got me. And it's me telling the truth. It's not nobody, there's nothing out here, you know, that saved me or whatever. The thing that saved me was me telling the truth, you know? Saved me from the lies I was telling myself, right? All this stuff I was putting myself through for no reason. No reason. I was doing way too much. That's what I saw. We're all doing way too much. Way too much. Okay. Yeah. So that's the story of how well, that's part of the story. That's the main part of the story as to how I got just so caught up, you know, just caught up. And yeah, and how I see that I'm still caught up in some areas of my life, not in the religious areas anymore, but there's still areas where I'm driven by fear to do certain things, right? And those are areas that I have to continue to tell the truth about, right? First of all, ask questions about, you know, and tell the truth about. Right? Because I say all the time, firing God is a daily activity. It's a daily activity. All right. It's not just about religion. Okay. It is not just about religion. It's about me having all the faith in the beliefs that I have about various things. Okay. And being able to question those. And it's scary. It's scary. It really is. It was scary then. It's still scary. Okay. But I see what's different now is that I see what it is. Okay. I see that I can question. I didn't know that before. I didn't know that I could ask a question about it. I had no idea. I thought I had to, believe a certain way, do a certain thing. I thought I had to do that. There was no choice. Now I see I can make a choice. I can choose. I can choose again to do something different. All right. That's all I have today for this. I'll be more faithful with creating videos for this channel. All right. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.